All right, Miles, let's talk about the Chicago Bears here for a little bit. Look, the Bears obviously started strong in week one, took a little bit of a step back in week two against the Green Bay Packers. And there is some concerns, some question marks going around the offense, specifically for the Chicago Bears. A lot of Bears fans are getting a lot of anxiety. But we've got good news coming out of Chicago, specifically related to the quarterback position. And I'll let you handle that. But before we talk about that, Bears fans, for the first 2 weeks of the regular season, we want to hear from you in the comment section below who you think the standout player, the player you've been most impressed with so far into the season. Is it a guy like Eddie Jackson in the back end of the defense? Roquan Smith's been good. Montgomery's been strong at the running back position. Let us know in the comment section below who the player you're most impressed with is. But Miles, what's the latest out of Chicago?
Yeah, Nick. So Fields has had some tough games so far this season. I wouldn't say it's necessarily been his best performance, but one thing that has happened that I've noticed about Justin Fields is his reaction. So obviously they had a tough loss this past Sunday to the Green Bay Packers, and according to Bears Wire, Fields said this loss was just different. He has a more emotional investment to the team this year. He just says the loss kind of hit different, and he's decided to shake things up to already. He doesn't want to feel this feeling of losing, and I love to hear a young quarterback say that. He's been a winner. At Ohio State, they won all the time, so he hates losing. Decided to change the schedule up. He's waking up at 5:40 a.m. pretty early, hour earlier than he'd been waking up traditionally, and he's decided to dedicate that extra hour to more studying of film, game plan, whatever the case may be, because he does not want a loss like Sunday's loss to happen again. He says, I hate the feeling of losing, and this Sunday just hit different. So this seems like a different Justin Fields, Nick. This seems like a Justin Fields who cares about the teammates, cares about the team, and he says he cares about the fans too. It seems like this team culture is shifting a little bit from the Matt Nagy days, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the thing I really like about Justin Fields, and we talk about it a lot, Miles, is self-awareness. Because when you're the quarterback of an NFL team, the starting quarterback, you're essentially like the CEO or the front man of a multi-billion-dollar company. That's really what you are. And with Justin Fields having the awareness to know, coming out of a loss to the Green Bay Packers when he attempted only 11 throws the
Yeah,
entire
tough.
game. He had some comments about the fans after the game. He later walked back. A lot of PR, a lot of eyes on him. He takes the right mentality, because it would have been very easy for him to, if he says one thing out of line, if he says, yeah, I wish we would have thrown the ball a little more, or if there's reports he, was a little late to a meeting or something like that, then the whole world would have fallen on him media wise. But instead, he takes the opposite approach. He realizes that he needs to get his PR right. He needs to be the point man for the organization, as this is an offense going through a rebuild, right? Things are going to take time. So he takes the initial step and says, look, I'm going to come in early because it's all about dedicating ourselves to the process. And it is a rebuild, right? And I think CBS Sports analyst Phil Simms had some comments about this. I'm going to bring this up to you real quick. This was an interview Simms did. He said, look, they want everything. The fans want everything to happen right now. I'm no different than any of that, but you've got to have patience. You're just going to drive yourself crazy. It's going to take a while, but I do like where I see Justin Fields. Look, a lot of guys have come out and said this. Jordan Palmer came out and said he really liked what he saw from Justin Fields looking at the tape. Phil Simms just said the same as well. So you see a lot of mojo, a lot of positivity going around about it. And Dan Graziano said a lot of the same things in his report talking about the Bears, said everything in the organization is positive right now. So even though things on the field may have looked a little shaky, especially last Sunday, throwing the football at Lambeau against the Packers, a lot of the energy and the vibes are heading in the right direction.
Yeah, and going back to the changing of the schedule, Nick, this is week 2 we're talking about. I like that he's willing to be like already, he's doing something, and the second, he's not going to be stuck in his routine. The second something went wrong, he's like, okay, let's be introspective. What can I do better? How can I change? He's not like, well, it's only week 2. I don't have to do anything. Let's just see, week 6, we'll reassess. And if we've lost some more games by then we'll make a change. No, week 2, he's like, listen, not happening again. What can I do? All right. Do I need to study more? Did I not recognize the routes trees as much? Did I not look at the coverages enough? What's the case? How did this Packers team beat us? I need to go back to the well early and often and figure out how I can reevaluate myself to be the best Bear that I can be. And when you have a guy like that, it speaks true leadership to me that he's doing that. He's working himself towards like being a true leader of this team. even as young as he is. So, he owes it to the fans, he owes it to the team to be the best version of himself he can be. And we've seen flashes. I remember last year, a game that Nagy called that was untraditionally called. They did more RPOs. They did more things that catered to Justin Fields. They got him outside, moving the pocket a little bit. And he had an incredible game that game last year. And it was uncharacteristic of every other game Nagy had called that season. And Fields just shows flashes. He has the talent to be a good NFL quarterback. If he can get his mind in there, and this extra studying is probably going to help, he really has potential to be somebody special.
Yeah, and 100% agree with you there. But one other fact is that the recognizing of an opportunity and that you need to put in that extra work to make sure you take advantage of that. And there's no greater opportunity for Fields and the Bears passing offense than this coming weekend against the Houston Texans. The Texans are 26th in the NFL in terms of giving up pass yards. The Texans are in a major rebuild, kind of like the Bears in a lot of ways. So this is a big opportunity for Fields to kind of show his stuff, throwing the football more, being more aggressive in the passing game. And him coming in early, taking that extra time just shows, again, another step of mental acuity, realizing, hey, this is a great opportunity. I can't let this go.